Hello, everybody. So today we're going to continue with chapter 13, and our topic today is area. And our essential question is, how can you use a formula to find the area of a rectangle? Okay, we are on page 529. So unlock the problem. The base, B, will represent base as the letter B, of a two-dimensional figure can be any side. The height, H, is the measure of a perpendicular line segment from the base to the top of the figure. Okay, so here we have the same rectangle represented three different ways. Okay, here they're saying the long side is the base. Well, the height of a rectangle is just the line that is perpendicular to the base. Okay, so this would be the height. Here they're saying they turned it and now they're making this the shorter side, the base, but the height would still be the part that's perpendicular to the base. Okay, and this one, it's the same as the first one, it's just turned diagonally. But it's still, if this is the base, then that part right there, which is perpendicular to the base, is still the height. Okay, so just a reminder, remember that perpendicular lines and perpendicular line segments form right angles. You notice that with the blue squares inside here. So the base and the height form square corners or right angles. So area is different than perimeter. Perimeter was just the distance around the outside of a figure. Area is the number of square units needed to cover a flat surface without gaps or overlaps. A square unit is a square that is 1 unit long and 1 unit wide. To find the area of a figure, count the number of square units inside the figure. Okay, and so we're going to practice that today. And so it wants to know, how are the base, height, and area of a rectangle related? Well, let's complete this table and see if we can notice a pattern. All right, so in this figure, they're saying the base is 5, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so they're counting the bottom as 5. So the height would be 1, 2, 3. The area, they told me the area is the number of square units inside the figure. So there's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 15 square units. Okay. Now this one, again, it doesn't matter what we call the base, right? Well, if we go to the bottom part again, it would be 2, 4, 6, 8 units. Or if I call this side the base, I guess it could be 2 units. Okay. So if I called the base 8 units, then the height would be 2 units. If I said the base was 2, then the height would be 8. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you call the base. So what's the area? Again, how many square units are inside the figure? Well, if that's 8 and that's 8, 8 and 8 is 16 square units. All right, how about the next one? Well, no matter how I decide to do it, if I use this as the base or this as the base, it's still going to be 3 because it's a square, right? So the height is going to be perpendicular to the base no matter what, and so it's going to be a height of 3. So how many square units is that? count the number of squares inside the figure. 3, 6, 9. 9 square units. What relationship do you see among the base, height, and area? Well, what's 5 times 3? 15, right? What's 8 times 2 or 2 times 8? 16. What's 3 times 3? 9. Okay, so the product of the base and height equals the area. The product of the base and the height is equal to the area. So write a formula for the area of a rectangle. It says use the letter A for area, use the letter for B for base, and use the letter H for height. Okay. Area of a rectangle equals the base, whichever side you call the base, times the height. Okay. You might also see it written this way. Area equals base times height. Now, somebody might tell you, no, area is length times width. Well, that is what we're doing in a rectangle. But we do want you to get in the idea that finding the area of polygons involves the base and the height of that polygon. And the height in any polygon is always going to be perpendicular to the base. Okay, so we're going to apply this idea of base times height to other shapes like triangles. Okay, and we'll talk about that as we get to those shapes. But for now, let's use, instead of length times width, let's use base times height for area. Okay. All right. 530. You can use a formula to find the area. When we just wrote that, area A equals B, the base, times H, the height. Here they're saying the base is the bottom part of this rectangle and the height is perpendicular to it. It could be the other way around. We could still call this the base and this would be the height. It doesn't matter. Commutative property of multiplication, right? Doesn't matter which order I multiply the numbers. All right, use a formula to find the area of a rectangle and a square. Area equals base times height. So I might call the base different than what you would. I'm going to use 6 as the base. So if my base is 6, what's perpendicular to it? A height of 2. So mine is 12 square feet. But it doesn't matter. If you put 2 first as the base and you called the height 6, you still would get 12. Okay. All right, now A. Now in A, since we're dealing with a square, the base and the height are going to be the same. All the sides are the same. So here, a base of 2 and a height of 2 would give us an area of 4 square meters. M stands for meters. All right, well, so write a formula for the area of a square. Use the letter A for area. And let's use the letter S for the length of a side. So the area of a square would be the side times the side. Okay. 531. Find the area of the rectangle or square. Area equals base times height. Area equals, 7 times 2. So area equals 14 square inches. 14. So this is the abbreviation, the symbols for inches squared, or you can write it out as 14 square inches. Oh, I skipped number 1, didn't I? Let's go back to page 530. All right, page 530. A equals base times height. A equals 11 times 13. Doesn't matter which side I call the base. Let's multiply that. 13 times 11. 1 times 13 is 13. 110 times 13 is 130. So we get 143 square centimeters, or you can see it written as 44 square centimeters. All right, now, number 3. Okay, so we have a square. A equals S times S. A equals 9 times 9. So the area of that square is 81 square meters, or 81 meters squared. Number 4, area equals base times height. Area equals, I'm going to call this 8, the base, and the height 14. 14 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32 ones. Regroup that as 3 tens and 2 ones. 8 times 110 is 8, plus 3 more is 112. So we get 112 square feet, or you'll see it as 122 feet squared. Find the area of the rectangle or square. Okay, let's keep going. Area equals base times height. You notice I'm writing the formula first. Okay, that's very helpful. Okay, because then I can just plug in the numbers in the formula. A, area, that's what we're trying to find out. I'm going to call the base 5, and so the height would be perpendicular to it, so 13. And 13 times 5. 5 times 3 ones is 15 ones. Regroup the 15 ones as 110 and 5 ones. 5 times 110 is 5, plus the regroup 10 is 6. So area equals 65 square feet. All right, 6 is a square. How do I know it's a square? Because the sides are exactly the same. So area equals side times side. Area equals 13 times 13. Well, it is 13 times 13. 3 times 13. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. 13 times 10 is 130. So 169 square yards, or you'll see it as yards squared. That sort of looks like a 4. Okay, yards squared. Number 7. There's a rectangle. So base times the height. Just choose one of the sides to be the base. The other side will be the height, because it's going to be perpendicular to the base. And 20 times 2 is 40. So 40 square centimeters is our answer. Number 8. We have a base of 16 and a height of 6. So area equals base times height. Area equals 16 times 6. 16 times 6, 96 square feet. You might ask yourself, do I have to put square units? Do I have to say square yards? Do I have to say square feet? Do I have to say square centimeters? Yes. Area is always noted as squares, because remember, area is the number of square units inside a figure. Perimeter would not be squared. Perimeter is, in a sense, a linear measurement. It's a straight line. If we were to take the shape apart, we'd have one measurement. Okay. So we don't have squares there. All right, a base of 9 and a height of 17. Area equals base times height. Area equals 9 times 17. 17 times 9. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 1 is 9, plus the 6 we group tens, 15. 153 square yards. All right, number 10. A base of 10 and a height of 11. Base of 10. Base of 14 and a height of 11. So what is 14 times 11? Well, 1 times 14 is 14. 10 times 14 is 140. So 154 square centimeters. Okay, number 11. Frank will paint a wall that measures 10 feet by 14 feet. What is the area of the wall that Frank will paint? So walls are typically rectangle shape, and it's saying 10 by 14. Okay, doesn't matter which one we have as 10 or the 14. So area equals base times height. So I'm going to call my base 10 and my height 14. This is probably the other way around, but does it matter? No. So what is 14 times 10? Well, 14 times 110 is 140. So 140 square feet. And number 12. Carmen sewed a square baby quilt that measures 36 inches on one side, on each side. What is the area of the quilt? Okay, square, all sides equal. So area equals side times side. So 36 times 36. 6 times 6 is 36 ones. Regroup that as 3 tens and 6 ones. 6 times 3 is 18 tens, plus 3 more is 21 tens. 36 times 30 is 1,080. 6, 9, 2, 1. 1,296 square inches. Or you can write it as 1,296 inches squared. All right, let's move on to 13. Nancy and Luke are drawing plans for rectangular flower gardens. In Nancy's plan, the garden is 18 by 12. In Luke's garden, his is a square that's 15 by 15. Who drew the garden with the greater area? 12 by 12, 15 by 15. Who drew the area with the great? Who drew the garden plan with the greater area? What is that area? So what do we need to find? Who drew the garden with a greater area. What is the area? All right, so what formula will we use? Well, for Nancy, I'll use area equals base times height. And for Luke, I'll use area equals side times side. What units will you write? Square feet. Show the steps. All right, so Nancy, Luke. Nancy is area equals base times height. Her base, 18, and her height, 12. Luke's area equals side times side. His area is 15 times 15. All right, so what is 18 times 12? 18 times 12. 2 times 8 is 16 ones. Regroup that as 110 and 6 ones. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. Okay, so now we're going to go 18 times 10. 18 times 10 is 180. So her area is 216 square feet. Luke's, what is 15 times 15? 5 times 5 is 25. Regroup that as 2 10s and 5 ones. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. Now 15 times 10 is 150. 225 square feet. All right, so the area of Nancy's garden is 216 square feet. The area of Luke's garden is 225 square feet. Luke's garden has the greater area. 14. Victor wants to buy fertilizer for his yard. The yard is 35 feet by 55 feet. The directions on the bag of fertilizer say that one bag will cover 1,250 square feet. How many bags of fertilizer should Victor buy to be sure that he covers the entire yard? Okay, so he has a yard, and we're going to draw this roughly as 55 by 35. Okay, so how many bags does he need to cover his whole yard? So area equals base times height. The base is, we'll call it 55 and the height 35. Okay, the height being what's perpendicular to the base. And 55 times 35. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 tens plus the 2 regrouped tens is 27 tens. 55 times 30. Well, 3 times 5 is 15. Regroup as 110, 15, 16, 1,650. Add that together, 12, 9, 1,925. Well, that's bigger than 1,250. So one bag's not going to be enough. What if we buy 2 bags? Will we have enough? 2,500. So 2 bags, right? Okay, so the area of his yard is 1,925 square yards, square feet. Square feet. The bag that he buys covers 1,250 square feet. So I have to add 1,250s until I get a number bigger than 1,925. And in this case, I only had to add 2 bags. All right, and 15. Tuan is an artist. He is painting on a large canvas, which is 45 inches wide. The height of the canvas is 9 inches less than the width. What is the area of Tuan's canvas? Okay. Now, in this lesson, we've been using base times height, right? Okay, well, so it really doesn't matter what side you call the base. I'm sorry, the width. Okay? Because we're going to use the formula area equals base times height anyway. So let's just make that 45. Okay? And the other side, what they're calling the width, I'm sorry, the height. So this part that I've designated as the width is actually the base. Okay? So 45 equals the base minus 9. The height of the canvas is 9 inches less than the width. So the height is the base minus 9. The base was 45. So the height is 36. Okay, so the area equals 45 times 36. What is 45 times 36? Well, 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 3 regroup tens, 270. Okay, 45 times 30. 3 times 45 is 135. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. So 1350. Add that together, we get 0. 7 plus 5 is 12. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 more is 6, plus the 1,000. 1,620 square inches. All right. So that's our discussion of area. So area is base times height, which is the same as length times width in a rectangle. Area is represented as square units because it's the number of square units inside of a figure. Okay. The height of a figure is perpendicular to its base. So it doesn't matter which one you call the base, the height's going to be perpendicular to it. Okay, in our next session, we're going to be talking about the area of combined rectangles. So until then, may the numbers always be in your favor.